How's it going, guys? Welcome to a new video. In this video, I want to just briefly give you guys my Black Friday, Cyber Monday strategy so that you guys can absolutely crush it during the festive period, generate more sales and more revenue with particularly Meta ads. So when we approach Black Friday, we kind of do it in three steps. So there's pre-Black Friday and post-Black Friday, and then of course you got Black Friday, Cyber Monday sorted. In the middle, I'll write it in text because my writing is absolutely awful with the pen tool. So I'll just call this BFCM for now. There we go. So what we do at the start, we do this for almost every brand, even brands you would not expect us to do it for. It's such an underrated tactic, but we actually run lead gen ads at the start to literally just generate more leads for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So this is basically going to be the driver, and this will fill up the pipeline. It will build up the email list that you can then leverage and retarget when Black Friday comes. Just think of it as basically just a way to quickly fill the pipeline. You know, let's say you've got a few thousand people on your email list. Obviously, not everyone is as warm, etc. You know, and then you're going to start bombarding them with Black Friday, Cyber Monday emails. A lot of people are going to get annoyed. A lot of people are going to unsubscribe, and you know, there's also going to be a lot of people that don't actually even open their emails, and that obviously have an impact on your Klaviyo standing, etc. I'm not an email marketer, so I don't know the exact terminology, but I just know that if you send a lot of emails and you know your open rate is very low, your emails can start getting marked as spam, etc. So what we do with Klaviyo is, or with lead gen, I should say, we run lead generation ads. We say, hey, sign up for our Black Friday, Cyber Monday discount or sale or whatever it is, you know, based on what kind of brand it is, what they are doing. Sign up for it and be the first to know when this is, you know, launched. Now, even if you're just running a simple discount on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, it doesn't matter. They don't care. They just see it, and there's just that whole idea of, oh, if I don't get the email or if I'm not on this list, I will not be able to participate in in the Black Friday, Cyber Monday madness. This also works cold, so it doesn't have to be a retarget lead gen campaign. You can just run this to cold traffic as well, and people will just sign up because it's a discount. So yeah, this is probably one of the easiest ways to build up a list and to build up some momentum for the brand is by just running a simple lead gen campaign. So with this lead gen, there's a few things that we do. First things first, we actually create a separate list in Klaviyo just for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Why? Because we don't want this list infiltrating sort of your main Klaviyo list. Now, why is that? Because people that sign up for these, offers, it's not going to be the best of quality. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. I definitely think you should because, like I said, it's been the powerhouse sort of our whole strategy for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. But you will attract discount hunters, bargain hunters, and people that just want the freebies. You don't necessarily want that in your main list. We also see quite a big drop. So when Black Friday, Cyber Monday has come to an end, a lot of these people, when they start to get your regular emails, will unsubscribe. So we don't really want this as the main list. We want to keep those separate. So what we do is we create a separate Black Friday, Cyber Monday list. And of course, once they place an order and you've set up an automation that they get added to a different list, that's completely fine because then they've already qualified themselves as an existing or as a paying customer. But we just want a separate Black Friday, Cyber Monday list because then obviously you're going to send specific emails to really hammer that list when Black Friday, Cyber Monday comes. And like I said, you don't really want to be sending the same amount of emails to your regular list because, like I said, these people will get annoyed. And if someone's purchased like a few years in the past and they're still on your list for some reason because you haven't got a sunset flow set up and they're just going to get bombarded with emails, they're not interested, they are going to unsubscribe, they're going to mark as spam, etc., etc. So keep these lists separate. And like I said, already start building up some kind of a flow for these people on the list that they get, I'd say at least 3 to 5 emails during that whole Black Friday, Cyber Monday period. We've even got a brand that will literally send 3 to 4 emails a day during that whole period. And I don't know why, it just works for them. Like every single email they send just hits a home run. So kind of see what your target audience is like, what kind of brand you've got. Can you get away with sending multiple emails? The last thing we want is people on the fence. So we either want people to unsubscribe or we want people to buy, right? We don't, because you pay for the email list. Klaviyo does get quite expensive once you get a couple of thousand people on that list. So we want people to do one of the two, right? Either leave or place an order. So feel free to bombard this list, but like I said, make sure you do separate it from your main list. So that's obviously your pre-Black Friday strategy. Then during Black Friday, what I would recommend is one discount during this whole period. Now, one thing I would mention with Black Friday, at least that's how I do it. I don't run the Black November, the Black Week, or I don't know what everyone calls it nowadays, but I literally just advise all my clients to run Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So literally just Friday to Monday. I'll get into post shortly. This is why I use the text and not the writing feature, just because of the how awful I am with this. But Friday to Monday, hope you guys can read it. That's literally my Black Friday, Cyber Monday period. Now people will say, hey, well, will you not lose out by not running discounts earlier? Everyone holds out for this period anyway. So we've tried to run like a run up to Black Friday sale where like we'll offer, like, let's say we do 30% discounts for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, which I think is quite a lot. I'm not the type, especially for the brands that I run the ads for, I don't want to be running 40 to 50% discounts. I think it will harm the brand and you're losing out on money by giving such a deep discount. I think by doing this properly, at least the way we do it, we can have an absolute home run with 20 to 25% discount based on the way we structure things. So you don't need to give a 40, 50% discount away. But anyway, let's just say for argument's sake, we're doing 30% discount for Friday, between Friday and Monday. We've had brands in the past, though, we've taken over clients where we can see that they've done this in the past, where they've done like a leading up to Black Friday, they'll do like a little soft offer, 20% off, maybe even 25% off. But we just noticed that people will, definitely, you'll get sales. I'm not saying it won't work, but I'm just saying like these people would have also held out for, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or they will just hold out anyway. So, yes, you can do it prior to Black Friday, or you can just have it consolidated in the one period. You'll absolutely, like I said, you'll hit a home run during that period, and you don't need to mess about with discounts prior to that. Or, like I said, you'll have the same effect anyway because people are just holding out for it. So prior to Black Friday, I would just build up the momentum, but don't do a sale. Then during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, go crazy to make it easier on yourself, especially for the bigger brands that have got all kinds of things going on. Don't mess about with the discount. Don't do a big sale on Friday, a lesser sale on Saturday, and then do a different type of sale on Monday. If anything, if you guys work with bonuses and bundles, that's the only thing I would switch. I would not switch anything during this period. Keep the same discount and mention it also during the whole period. Just say, BFCM 25 for 25% off during this whole weekend ends on Monday. Because otherwise, what you'll get, if you start doing different discounts for different days, people will not know what day is the best day for them to get that particular discount. So maybe on Friday, it'll be 30%, and then they'll hold out because they think Cyber Monday will be a bigger discount. It won't be. They'll get annoyed that they didn't actually get it on the Friday, and so on and so forth, or vice versa. They buy something with the 20% on the Friday, thinking that's going to be the best offer. On Cyber Monday, you guys do 25%. They'll get annoyed. We've even had instances in the past where they'll try and refund it and then buy it with the bigger discounts and stuff like that. It just gets messy. Stick to the one discount. What I'd also recommend is just do an automated discount at checkout. Don't make them use codes. The big pro to using codes obviously is they'll sometimes forget and think they'll get the discount anyway, and they end up paying full price. That's good, but it just gets messy. I'd rather just have automated discounts at checkout. Make sure you run your numbers prior to that to make sure that it actually makes sense. But then just do the discount. Just give it away, automated, and that way, your customers will be happy. There's no friction with getting the discount, and no one's annoyed because everyone gets the same discount during this period. So that's what I'd recommend as well. What I would say about this whole period is think outside the box. We've got a few clients where their margins are slim and they can't really afford a steep discount. So what we actually do is we just get very creative. We start to offer bundles with a smaller discount that still seems like a very, very good deal. And these guys still crush it. Even though they're not doing like I said, the 30 to 40 to 50% off, they're doing, a reasonable discount, but they do it with a bundle offer. So it still sounds like a very, very good deal to the customer. They're still happy. They're willing to buy that because it's a good deal. And they have a higher average order value than usual even, because that's another thing you guys need to also keep in mind. If you do a discount, a very steep discount, you will have a lower average order value. Usually that does go hand in hand with a lower CPA during this whole period of madness. But if it doesn't, and your CPA does not decrease, but your average order value does, you're left with a very low return on ad spend, and you could, cut into your margins a lot. So just keep that in mind. Run your numbers first. How much can you afford to give as a discount? If you can't afford a discount, then don't do it. At the end of the day, it's not about making a loss during this period. It's, obviously to make revenue and, to generate a lot of sales, but it needs to be profitable sales. We've even got a client that refuses. This is one of our biggest clients as well. She refuses to do a discount. And what we do for her during Black Friday, Cyber Monday is we actually just launch a new collection. So we do the same, with the Legion, etc. But we say, we sign up to get the new collection. And then when they sign up, they will get an email just a couple of hours before it goes live. Sometimes we create like a whole, we lock the website, give, whoever signed up to the email list sort of free reign to pick whatever items they want from the new collection first. And then we open up the website to the public. I'm not a big fan of it, but it just kind of works for this client. But I love the fact that she just launches a new collection and she doesn't actually participate in the whole Black Friday, Cyber Monday madness. No discounts, just a new collection, and it still works. It absolutely rips. It's crazy how many sales she generates during that period and how quickly that new collection sells out as well. So long story short, get creative, think outside the box, and make sure you know your numbers. Now, for post Black Friday, there's a few things that you guys need to keep in mind as well. So obviously, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So now we're on Monday, which is the 1st of December. What do you do then? Well, that is now called Cyber Week. So you can extend the discount. What I would recommend in this period, because I've literally just spent like a few minutes saying stick to Friday to Monday, but the Cyber Week, you can still do some kind of an offer. So what we usually do is we change up the bonuses, we change up the bundles, or we see, okay, what is still left in stock? What do we kind of need to get rid of? And then we'll create a unique offer for that. So Black Friday, Cyber Monday is obviously, your big reveal. And then post Black Friday is Cyber Week. So the Monday, the 1st to, let's say, the 7th. So the Monday, the 1st of December to the 7th of December, you'll have Cyber Week. And that is when you just create a new, unique offer to help you out, basically. So get rid of stock that you can't get rid of, or that you couldn't get rid of during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Do some kind of bonus or switch up the bonus when they order something, or maybe even just reward your most loyal customers and give them like a free item if they place another order sort of during this week. We again get creative with this, because there's a lot of things that you guys can do here to get rid of some stock and to still generate some sales and kind of extend this whole period of madness. And then, of course, you've got from the 7th of December onwards, you're already leading into the Christmas period. So that is when I would literally switch up all of the offers to, and again, it depends on what kind of niche you're in, but order now to get in time before Christmas, or get your Christmas deals in early, or make sure that you get all your Christmas presents in early, etc. Start to use that as the angle post Black Friday, and this will go, it will come as quick as December 7th. You need to be quick with this. Don't wait and don't have like some kind of off period up until like 2 weeks before Christmas. Make sure that you make the switch quickly. So post Black Friday is Cyber Week. I don't even know if it's called Cyber Week. That's just what I call it. 1st of December until the 7th of December. There we go. And like I said, so that'll be just unique discounts, unique offers, etc. Just to get rid of stock or to reward your most loyal customers. Now, in terms of strategy, I will literally just create a specific, I'll put it here. I'll literally just create a specific campaign for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, so it doesn't affect sort of the existing campaigns, etc. And I'll run it as follows. So this is our Black Friday, Cyber Monday campaign, and this is subjective. This is how I like to run it. So if you have a different way and it works, feel free to do so. This is just how we do it. Black Friday, Cyber Monday campaign. I do like to run CBO. I've got a hate-love relationship with CBO, especially lately with the Andromeda update. But for this, CBO definitely seems to be the best way to do things. Then I'll have 3 ad sets. Now I know with Andromeda you've got different concepts per ad set. With this, I am planning on just to do the old school way. So we've got prospecting, which is your cold traffic. So this is just completely broad. Obviously, especially now with Andromeda, I think the interest testing is completely out the window. Prospecting is literally just broad cold traffic. And then we'll have warm. So this will be, let's say, your Instagram engagers, your Facebook engagers, your website visitors. You can potentially put the email list in this as well. What we did last year is we actually had the email list in the hot audience, and the hot audience will literally be people that have added to cart but placed no order, initiated checkout, placed no order, and then email list, something like that. So that's kind of, I'm just thinking if I missed anything here. I don't think I have, but that's kind of the structure for the ad sets. And the reason why we want to do this on CBO is because I don't really care if it's warm or if it's cold. I just want people to buy as much as they can. So if Meta can see more potential with because bear in mind, the biggest audience here, the biggest audience size will be the prospecting, right? So you don't want the frequency to be sky high on the warm audience, the hot audience not to get any spend, and the warm audience to get all of the spend, when you've just got this big, massive prospecting audience as well, just waiting to get some spend and reach, because cold traffic still converts during this whole period. So that's the strategy in terms of ad sets. Now, in terms of creatives, one thing I would recommend doing is take your best performing creatives, so non-Black Friday, of course, just literally your best performing creatives and it depends on how much traffic you've got. Obviously, if you've got a lot of spend, a lot of traffic, you can take a smaller time frame. For smaller brands, you could even just look at the best performing creative of this entire year. Take the top 3, I'd say, because one thing I have noticed post Andromeda is that you don't really need to stick to like 3-4 creatives anymore. You can literally have more, like many more creatives in your ad sets. So why can I not make this smaller? I'll have to do it like this. So best performing creative, the second best performing creative, and the third best performing creative. Take them and just slap a Black Friday, Cyber Monday logo onto it. It could be a banner, it could be a sticker. Again, it depends on the type of content it is. Just make sure that it's blatantly obvious that it's a Black Friday, Cyber Monday deal. Even because sometimes we'll have like a UGC video that is not entirely relevant and we don't really mention an offer. Still do it, because people will see the Black Friday and they'll understand that, okay, it's not, the video itself is not about Black Friday, Cyber Monday, but because it's the banner, it still kind of works. So take the best performing creatives and then just create 3 unique Black Friday, Cyber Monday concepts. And what I've noticed myself is that the best performing creators with just the random banner on it outperform these unique, carefully curated Black Friday, Cyber Monday creatives. So don't be surprised if that happens. So this is going to be one ad set. Let me just move this up here. And let's just have the same for the warm audience and then just the same for the hot audience. The only thing that I would change up here is the copy. And even then, because I've said for a long time, the copy is not as important as it used to be. I'm still in that camp, but I think the copy is not as important as it used to be. But people still read it, and especially now with this Andromeda update, you want to make sure that Meta knows who they are targeting with this particular audience. So when you speak to a warm customer or a hot customer, that is going to be a little bit different because they are already brand aware, product aware, problem aware, etc. Then you're prospecting cold traffic. So that is literally the only difference I'll have between these two. Now, Andromeda or Meta has come out and said that it needs to be 70% different in order for Meta to see it as a different ad ID or identity ID, I think they call it nowadays. That is true. I'm still sticking to my guns and I'm still doing it in this way because I'm 90% certain that this is going to work anyway. So this is kind of how I'm going to do things. Best performing creatives, Black Friday, Cyber Monday concepts, and then just duplicating that 3 times over. So every ad set has got the same type of creatives. The only thing that changes is the copy slightly. So it'll still kind of be the same concept. You know, obviously the main priority is the Black Friday, Cyber Monday stuff. Just worded slightly different to tailor to those particular ad sets. So that is the strategy. Any questions on this, please let me know in the comments down below. I'll be sure to answer them. If you guys need help with this last minute, you want us to take over this, for the Black Friday madness, feel free to book in a call. The link will be down below. Like the video if you got something out of it. Subscribe to the channel for more, and I'll see you guys in the next video.